You gotta love technology. Always gets in the way of having some fun. But hey, we are here. We are live for another edition of Table Talk, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Wrestling Audio. If you're watching, enjoying us live, leave a comment, leave your reactions, ask your questions, and we're going to try to get to as many of them as we can here over the course of Table Talk. If you're watching on demand, hey, keep in mind, we go live every Wednesday around this time. To my left, she is a Supergirl cosplayer and so famous doing so. She actually got interviewed by a podcast this week. Lindsay, how are you?
I did. I'm good. I'm feeling real super right now. So great.
Yeah, we got Halloween coming up. Are you going to bust that costume out for us? Or?
You know, that's what I do every year. So probably yes.
All right. And then our other Supergirl cosplayer is also a WWE Hall of Famer. He is, how many times did you win that championship? Tag championship?
24 times.
24 times. The Hall of Famer, Devon Dudley. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Just a little worn out home, trying to do that honey-do list and trying to take care of a lot of stuff before I have to go back and, do the whole, SmackDown thing, the Hell in a Cell thing, the Monday Night Raw thing, just it is what it is, man.
And you got some producing to do for Hell in a Cell?
I believe so. Don't know what I'm doing yet, but I think I got something going on. I just have to wait and see.
All right. Well, as you know more, let us know, and we'll pass it along to everybody. But right now, we pass along our special guest who recently got split up in the WWE Draft. It's no good. These guys, your Yolo County Tag Champions. One half of these guys are Money in the Bank holder. They are heavy machinery. They are Tucker and Otis. Gentlemen, welcome to Table Talk.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome.
Two handsome men as a guest right here.
Yes, brother. Now, wait a minute. Now, again, it's going to be crazy though, but I didn't know that they separated you two in the draft.
Yeah, just two different brands for sure. Yeah, that's what's going down.
Yeah,
I never separated from the heart.
Yeah, Tucker's on Raw and Otis is on SmackDown.
I did not. You know what? And again, that shows you how much I pay attention to everything. I mean, I'm running around with my head cut off, and I did not notice until Mo just said it. I was just shocked. Wow.
Just like Bubba and Devon, baby. They split them up. God dang it.
Well, one went to Raw and one went to SmackDown, and eventually, as you know how the story goes, we all came back together, and hell, we even reunited with Spike. So, never say never in terms of reuniting again. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
So
all
now,
is this come around? Sorry.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, you guys, how long have you been together as a tag team?
4 years and a half, Tucky.
Yeah, it was. We started in July
22nd,
16. Yeah,
and that was in NXT, correct?
Yeah,
in NXT, Florida. In Kala, about 100 degrees outside, 96 with the 80% humidity outside in a tent for real by the Hilton Hotel there in Ocala, and I think we each lost about 10 pounds in that match.
I got dehydrated bad. I had 2 gallons of water, and I still didn't pee until 6 p.m. the next night. So
that's great. So now let me get this straight. Now you guys got separated. When you found out that you two were going to be separate, what went through your head? I mean, after being together for 4 years, again, I know exactly how's that feel because the first ever draft in WWE back in I believe 2002. Bubba and I have been together for almost 10 years, and now all of a sudden we're going our separate ways. How did it feel? What was your reaction when you found out that you were actually going your separate ways?
Terrible. Just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we found out at the last minute, like most things happen here, and that's just part of being a WWE superstar. And I actually found out live on Talking Smack, that I was going to move Raw. So, it is what it is, kind of good and bad or whatever, but mostly disappointing because Heavy Machinery still feels like they have some things to achieve. You know what I mean? We haven't won any tag team championships together, and we feel like we still have more to do as a team, but not everything's up to us, and so we'll deal with what we got to deal with.
I'm like a loose cannon right now when it comes to travel now, because usually Tucky keeps me in line. I can't. I have a hard time reading the signs on the highway, so I might do a couple wrong turns maybe off road here. Yeah, he's usually definitely like I wouldn't say, well, man, I wouldn't say babysitting, but he's always like that. He goes, "Are you good? Do you have your butt wipes?" Yeah, I do. Thanks, brother. You got him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, our partnership is more than just a, in the ring or at work partnership, which, some tag teams is more of a business relationship, but we have definitely much more of a brotherhood, I would say. We're together all the time on the road, and always together, always staying in the same place, always riding in the same cars, so yeah, it hurts. I mean, it's
a real
away from one of your
relationship.
family members, something. It's not. There's real love, genuine love between the two of us. Like, I want to see this man do his best and succeed. I want his family to be great, and I want him to be happy in life. And I know he wants the same things for me, and that's not something that you find all the time in the wrestling business or really in any business. And it's something that's special, and like, just because we're not wrestling together on the same brand doesn't mean that specialness goes away or that brotherhood goes away. It's just a business thing, and that's it.
Well, I think one of the great things about the draft now is that we're doing it in one place, and that is in Florida at the Amway Arena, which is what they're calling the Thunderdome. So it's not like we don't see each other when we go to work sometimes. I mean, again, whether you got to come in on a Friday and do something for Raw or and vice versa. I mean, still, it's different compared to when you're on the road and you definitely have two separate brands and you don't see the other one probably until the pay-per-view. So, again, that's just one of the things that you have to deal with when you are a team, like you said, and as close as you were, and still are, I should say, now to have to separate and go to two different brands. Like I said, one of the comforting things about it probably has to be that we're all still in one place, which is the Thunderdome in Florida, at the Amway Arena. And there is a chance that reconnection still might come together.
Oh yeah, it's always there, baby. But right now, if we're on two different shows, Tucky's gonna kill it there on Monday nights, and I gotta carry my own load on Fridays. So definitely find time to because I literally call each other like at least especially with my ring dyslexia, like Tuck's like, let me just call you, explain this because I'm not gonna type it to you because you're not gonna spend more time trying to look at it. So I usually call if it's a 5-minute conversation. Or it could be a 35-minute conversation. It depends how much we're talking about cooking, what kind of meat to buy and stuff like that. So it just depends. And like what was it? My mom was going. She goes, every time these guys talk to each other, you don't call me as much. I go, Mom, because it's hard to talk to you over the phone. She has a hearing problem.
Speaking of cooking, Tuck, you consider yourself an amateur chef?
Yes, I definitely do. Yeah.
What's your specialty? What's your dish?
Oh man, I mean, probably my best stuff is on the barbecue. Maybe rack of lamb on the barbecue,
especially charcoal. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I can do. I do baking quite often. Good quick breads. It's fall season, so I'll be making some pumpkin bread in the near future. And I don't know. I just kind of I like to make my food and do things around the time of year it is or time particular thing, have people over and make kind of a full meal or something. I have this cookbook called The Joy of Cooking that my mom got me. I'm a big fan of it. I'll just find random things to do in there, and it's one of my one of the things that me and Otis share definitely together is our love of cooking and food as big guys, just kind of big part of our lives, I guess you could say.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you one of those guys that, because, you hear all the time, if they cook the meal, usually they can't eat it because it's almost like it takes away for like you're doing all that cooking and you're so tired. Like a lot of times they don't eat their own food. Do you eat your own food?
Well, that's the reward, baby. Oh yeah, that's the reward. You gotta. It's here's the pressure is though. If you're cooking for a lot of people,
right?
Like I don't want to. If I taste it, I'm probably gonna be too judgmental about it, and they'll go, oh yeah, and they'll babyface me. Oh yeah, it's great. Just so much cream in it. Oh yeah, it's so good. And in your head, you're going, I went too long on the damn shrimp. I knew it. And then just 1 minute, as Tucky says, 1 minute on high heat. But it's I think there's stress when you're cooking for a lot of people. But
Right.
for just me and Tucky, we know what we like, and he cooks his eggs way different than I do. He likes over medium or over hard, and
Yeah,
I'm an over
medium.
easy, juicy man.
That's true.
Oh, so
yeah.
juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, so juicy. I'd love to see you guys like in some sort of like tag team cooking competition. I imagine the reality show
Yeah.
of you guys in the kitchen against like the Street Profits, against like the New Day. Oh my God, I'd watch the crap out of that.
It wouldn't be
Oh,
bad.
we'd be the champions. We'd be the
There's no
champions.
doubt about that. So,
That
Yeah.
would probably be the
It puts
most
smiles on
entertaining
faces.
segment. I can only imagine you guys in a New Day doing something like that. I think it would be probably you guys would steal the show. Just everything that you guys could probably collaborate together in coming up with making that segment so much fun. I think you guys would blow it out the water. And I'm surprised WWE never took the time to even want to do something like that or take the chance on doing a segment like that with you guys, knowing that could be something that would be very, very good. Or am I mistaken? Did they do something like that with you
Well,
guys?
they didn't think we could cook. So I remember one time, I shouldn't probably say this, but it was cooked burgers from 10 a.m. that day. And we were going to pretend to cook it at 6 p.m. And we looked at them like me and Tuck were like, wait, the burgers are already made? I mean, they made a burger like the size of my head.
Yeah,
We're
seriously. It was so
doing
big. It was absurd.
Yeah. And we're like, you guys know we can cook this while talking and we do it all the time on the internet. And somebody watched our internet stuff and goes, oh, we're thinking about a blue collar meals where it's like not fancy meals. Like, so vice versa is a master chef. Like say one of our meals, what's that one I call? It's just like it's a hamburger helper kind of thing where it's macaroni and cheese with pepper jack cheese, and you mix it with some of the veggies and any kind of ground beef or ground turkey or anything you want to do, ground bison. But that's just a simple meal to eat. And we call them blue collar meals. And there's a lot of ideas out there and way to do it, but it's just tough, man, to get them ready to rock with that, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I want to know, like, you guys like your own cooking, but what about other people? And to help us out with this, we're actually bringing in somebody else to help determine if your cooking really is that good or not. Hello, Mandy Rose. How is their cooking?
Oh,
Mandy.
yes.
Oh yes,
Hello.
baby. Rocket baby.
Great to see you.
Man, hello, Mandy. Mandy,
so
welcome to Table Talk.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Now I think you know these two gentlemen very, very well, and I think you definitely know the gentleman right beside you. And what's it going to be like? I mean, are you guys going to be on the same show, or is it different shows for you two as well?
Different.
I mean, you never know. Anything can happen in WWE. But, as of right now, I was so happy to see my Otis on Monday Night Raw this past week. And, who knows? Maybe I make a little appearance Friday. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying, not giving anything away.
Never know what's coming, baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, I gotta ask you a question. How did you two actually wind up becoming a couple? What started this?
My harassment. Some people would say, I think definitely Tucky would say, I don't need, like, the HR rules don't apply to me the way I say things. And sometimes I don't realize what I just said. And then they go, well, don't just hear me out, Tucky. They just go, I go, oh, I didn't mean to say it that way or that style of way. But they know, but usually in public, when it comes to like even going to Publix or anywhere around my area in Minnesota, it's like, they're like, what'd you just say to me? I go, oh, put the tank in there or something. I don't know. I got a few things, but I am also guilty the way I do it. But I saw Mandy, though. I just kept going, like, I couldn't help the gorgeousness. So I kept saying, I wouldn't say barking, but I would just be like, hey, what are you doing over there? I just couldn't help myself, A massive ball of testosterone. So, yeah, we met in NXT, and I just I wouldn't say stalking, but I always made sure I worked out the exact same time she did, doing her squats while I was doing my biceps.
That's great. Now, Tucker, I got to ask you, did you help Otis out here? Did you help match these two up or what?
We got you. You muted your mic there, Tuck.
He's like, I'm not listening to this.
There you go. There you go. You should be good.
So did you help these two get together?
Help my brother out all the time, you know, a couple questions here or there. And I'm a married man myself, so, you know, I know my way around a date or two. And, you know, obviously Big Otis and Mandy had their first date on Valentine's Day. And, you know, if you watching television, you're privy to see I was there and in the locker room and doing the kinds of things that I needed to help my boy get ready. And it didn't happen. Didn't work out as it was maybe supposed to in that instance, because Dolph Ziggler was a bad human being. But otherwise, you know, eventually what was supposed to happen happened, and you know, all was well in the universe.
That's great. Well, Mandy, let me ask you this: that first date that you and Otis went on, I mean, tell us about it. I mean, how was it? Was it good? Was it great? Was it wonderful? Did he romance you? What did he do? How did he get you?
Of course. I mean, well, like we said, Otis has been for the past, I don't know, 5 years, has it been? Or maybe even, 5 years, right? NXT.
He's been, baby.
He's been around and, you know, kind of, he says stalking, but it wasn't stalking. It was always very genuine and sweet. And you know, I love a good compliment here and there. So I wasn't mad about it. But yeah, of course. I mean, Otis is a true gentleman, and he was always very sweet to me, and we always hit it off, and always, you know, we're around the Performance Center, and half the time I didn't really know what he was saying because he'd just make these like little comments going by.
noises.
No, not Otis.
Tucker was
Can you do an impression of some of the Otis noises?
The version. Oh gosh. I feel like I'm so bad at that. I feel like most of the time it would be like Mandy Candy, like right when I walk.
I tell you what, she does a great impression of Otis. I can tell you that.
Because like when I do say something, like what my mind's thinking, it's hard to project it. So a lot of times when we first introduced each other, I didn't even say my name. I just said oh. And then it just went, the TIS went somewhere else. I don't know where it went. So it just was like, hey, ooh, it feels good. Yeah. and like, it's just, she's okay. And then she walked away. And I was thinking about that song from, what band is that? Zach Brown Band. Don't walk away. So I'm falling.
Yeah, a lot of singing, a lot of like random little phrases. But yeah, I mean, we always were great friends, and I'm trying to think. Our Valentine's date that got ruined, didn't it? I'm like trying to go back.
It was your poor best friend Sonia. She texted me, but I thought it was from your phone. And then Dolph showed before I did. And I saw you two together. And I thought you were giving me a little backstab there, and my left hand was very, very sad and cried on Tucky's shoulder is what I did.
No, wait a minute.
I would say the pool was our best one to date, right?
Yes. Which one was that? Forgot that you placed out there.
Pool.
I think she said the pool.
Yeah.
Oh,
pool.
Sorry. When you'd say it, all of a sudden I would miss it. Sorry, my Wi-Fi isn't so juicy, but yes, the pool was definitely cool. I did 100 sit-ups in 7 days. I wouldn't do it in 1 day, but 100 sit-ups in 7 days. Make sure I look extra NASCAR and everything with oil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a hell of a time, baby.
Hell of a time.
Explosion.
So I want to do something I typically don't do here on the show. I actually want to ask everybody to hold off on responses and comments for just a moment, because there was a big controversy that happened on Monday Night Raw this week, where Tucker found himself with a new tag team partner, where people are swearing they recognize who this somebody is. And I think once we see the picture, then this person needs to step up and admit to who they are. So with that, let me go ahead and pull up the picture here. So this is El Gran Gordo. Devon, is there something you want to tell us about returning to the ring, bud?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't know if that's me. It kind of resembles me. It looks like me a little bit, but I don't believe it is me.
That's you. That's totally you.
No, that's not me.
Definitely, that barrel chest is definitely out of Sure.
I tell you what, you take that picture and compare it to now. I'm telling you, it's not me.
But that was a fun little moment. We actually have a lot of people been asking about Mickey James wants to do a mixed match challenge with El Gran Gordo and La Luchadora. Is that something we could see in the future?
Well, you talk to Elle about it, yeah, that's for sure. I'm about to say that man. I would say, we have a little bit of a resemblance body type, but yeah, I mean, I saw the post there and everything, so yeah, it could be, you guys go ahead and book it. We're all down to it. I'll talk to Elle about it, give him a little call on the phone.
Yeah, I just texted him actually. I texted him and he said he's up for it. He's up for it. Yeah, he's back hanging out with his family after a tough Friday night, or tough Monday, excuse me. But
kicking ass.
He said, yeah, let him know he'll be ready.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, seeing the three of you together, I think they should bring back the 6-man tag.
Yeah,
I mean, we would have to call
Golden
it
Machinery.
Exactly,
Machinery,
two and women tag team. I think. Listen, I think it could be done, and if that's the case, then let's do it.
Oh yeah.
See, our viewers think that's you as well, Devon. I ask all of our guests this, and Devon hates this question. Mandy, we'll start with you. When is Devon coming out of retirement?
I'm not. I'm not. Mandy, you don't have to answer that question.
I think you should. I'm all for it.
Mandy. No.
Why not?
Otis, what do you think? I mean, nobody stays retired in pro wrestling, right?
Yeah, that's what's kind of goes on there, because it never leaves your body, your blood, your breath, and your tears. So I would say Devon has still 25 years in him, baby, for sure. Devon,
brother,
yep.
Hold on. You said I never left it. Trust me, I left it. It's gone. See you later. It ain't coming back.
And Tucker, what do you think? Is he gonna like Terry Funk this? Just retire, come out, retire, come out? What's he gonna do?
Tucker,
as much as I would enjoy to see him, I think he's a dad and he's happy doing what he's doing. I think
yes,
he's gonna stay happily retired. That's my prediction. But if he feels like he really wants to get back in the ring,
okay, Tucker, stop talking.
Be happy.
Tucker, stop. See, I was with you until you went. See, when you put the period after a sentence, stop talking. Oh God!
Listeners want to see it. One more 3D through a table. Heavy Machinery. Where did that name come from?
I just we said it once. We had this thing called the Performance Center shows, and basically it's to test some things out, see what it looks on camera. So you're basically wrestling in front of your peers and your coaches. And Kayla Braxton, pretty sure she's the one that came into the post-match interview. She goes, "What do we call you two hunk of men?" And I'm like, Heavy Machinery. And I said something else, but I don't remember how I even said it. But Heavy Machinery, that just kind of clicked. And then, but after the meeting of Heavy Machinery, it was two big guys who could go and never stop coming. I mean, that's kind of like, it was, that was like, it was not supposed to be Heavy Machinery. Then after 4 months after that, it became, we're actually officially named Heavy Machinery. They didn't like it at first.
Yes. Yeah, at first we were Otis and Tucker.
Nope.
Then we became Heavy Machinery. Yes.
Now,
and what kind of tag teams inspired you? Were the Dudleys one of the influences? I mean, who did you guys try to not necessarily model yourselves after, but who inspired you?
Well,
yeah, I mean, the Dudleys for sure, and I would say a lot of teams from the 80s, the Stan Hansen, Terry Gordy, Dr. Deaths of the world is kind of, where we try to take our initial, stuff from. But Scotty Tuhati helped us out a lot in the Performance Center in terms of our character and kind of figuring out what Heavy Machinery was going to be in terms of entertainment and just kind of how we could work together as a pair to, get better essentially. Yeah, I mean, it's a progression, I would say, and so we've taken inspiration from teams from all different eras. And I mean, professional wrestling is, you can only build on the foundation that others have kind of built and laid out for you, and so it's been really fun to do that with the team.
And Mandy, what about you? Who inspired you to be a pro wrestler? Who brought you here?
Well, to be honest, I didn't always watch wrestling growing up. I watched here and there, but I wasn't like a huge diehard until I got a little bit older, and I started kind of watching a lot of, like Trish Stratus and Lita and like a lot of the women, Beth Phoenix. So I'd have to say Trish was definitely one of my all-time favorites. And, seeing her when I was kind of going through my fitness career and having similar careers into getting into wrestling, she was always kind of like someone I looked up to and was like, wow, like, she was such a success story where she came from. So I felt like it kind of gave me the motivation to be like, well, I could do this, this could be something I could follow. And she's always been, my inspiration, and still to this day. She's such a cool person, genuine person to talk to when I see her and, backstage and stuff nowadays. But yeah, I would definitely say Trish was when I saw her later on in life, I was like, wow, that's something I would love to, those shoes I would love to fill.
What did you ever happen to be in the ring with her at the same time?
Yeah.
You ever happen to work with her? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we didn't get to actually work because that was the first ever women's Royal Rumble, and I got thrown out by Lita, which I was like, cool, no problem.
Baby.
Yeah. So I didn't actually get to work with her, one-on-one, but being in the same ring with her was, obviously a really cool, accomplishment, which is
very good.
Then you see comments like this one from Stephanie saying she started watching WWE because of the Otis and Mandy romance. How does that make you guys feel?
Oh yeah. Pure enjoyment, right? But I've heard this before, like from, because me and Tuck will always get your barbecues online are great, and it feels like people barely talk about the wrestling or the matches. They want to say that everyday thing. And like at my a lot of my old bosses I used to work with, like bouncing or landscaping, they tell me, oh, my kids are never watched it, but now they're watching because you're with Mandy, that hot babe. And I said, yes, I am, baby. You know what I mean? Like, just guys that's the cool thing about it. When it comes to World Wrestling Entertainment, is we're able to attract normal. No one's normal, yeah. I'm not normal either, but like you attract the common person who doesn't like wrestling, didn't grow up watching it, and they get hooked and attached to it. So that's one of the things I love about WWE is like we're just someone sees it and they go, what the heck, just basically it's the high school nerd trying to get with the hot chick in the classroom. And then usually, because I consider myself a good looking man a little bit, but yeah.
Oh, you're beautiful, baby. You're beautiful.
Yes.
It was just a great story to be, to see. And also I think it was a good way for myself to show another side of me and more personality rather than just being, the golden goddess and coming out and looking great and, kind of just like flaunting myself. It was a good way to show other people that, there's another side of me. It's not just all looks, and it's not what's on the outside. It's what's on the inside, obviously. So I think it's a very relatable and fun story. We took them on a roller coaster as well. So I feel like that was a really good showing because nobody knew what was going to happen. And it was a long-term storytelling, which I feel like we don't do a lot anymore, which I was really grateful and happy to be a part of.
I love all your sides, baby.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? I mean, that story went from like before the Royal Rumble all the way through WrestleMania, but so yeah, like Mandy said, I mean, that was like WrestleMania was the culmination of like 3 months worth of work. And I mean, even for me, I felt like I got the opportunity to kind of like play the big brother role that is, sort of what I try to bring out of the TUCKER character. And so, it was just a great opportunity, and obviously it worked out and people loved it, which is fantastic.
Good.
Now, we had a comment that was posted before the show started from Michelle. Wants to know, where are the YOLO tag belts currently?
I don't even know.
They're in the case. They're in the case with all the championships at work. So I would say they're probably at the Amway Center currently.
Yeah, he knows. Becky knows.
He takes care of you. What are you going to do on SmackDown by yourself, Otis?
I tell you what, for our first championship, it really felt good. But then we were so sweaty after the show that we put the title over our shoulder. Then our body sweat started going into the cardboard like a piece of pizza. So I just was like, oh, crap, we're ruining the championships already. So we had to air dry them out. We're ruining the permanent marker.
That's good, dude.
That's great.
You got a question from Joshua wants to know, and we'll start with Mandy here. What do you do to get in character? Do you have a routine before the match?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always try to kind of stay in character most of the time, especially at work. And, you know, like a lot of us are all versions of ourselves times 1,000, we like to say. So I feel like, you know, the closer you are to yourself, the easier it is portrayed to others and other people perceive you, and the more believable it is, for sure. And I feel like I definitely do have a little routine though before my match. I have this like weird thing where I'd have to do like 20 push-ups. And, you know, sometimes I do a little more if I have extra time, but like it has to be 20, and, you know, just the normal like stretching and kind of just getting in the zone, getting in the moment, because, you know, you have, once you come out those curtains, yeah, that's it. You're live, you know? So I would say, just really focusing on being in the moment.
What about you, Otis? What do you do before a match?
I don't know what the hell I do. I would say definitely talk over strategy with Tucky. It's basically the easiest answer to say is that first, you know, glimpse of us through the curtain. That's where it clicks with me, because when we had an audience, it was basically just like you see one person's reaction, you're already in the zone, and you know, then it follows you until the end of the curtain. Sometimes Tucky will say the character's there until 5 a.m, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to get the juices back down. But definitely with the audience there, it was not hard at all. It was like, all right, baby, here's the adrenaline rush. We're getting pumping. We're getting juicing. But like nowadays, you got to get into a different kind of zone, because the audience is watching you through a camera, and you got to keep selling to that camera. So now it's, I think, the same strategy. But right now, I mean, I couldn't have. You know, first simple answer is just that, you know, as soon as you walk out there, it's time for a shakedown, baby, and do what you love to do. I would say personally, I pray to the good Lord you know, hey Lord, please watch out for me, don't get too crazy out there and all this stuff. And then usually my every time routine to make sure he's watching me from above.
And Tuck, what do you think, man? What about you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got this beautiful long hair here, so I got to make sure to take good care of that, brush it out, get it all looking nice.
Now I've seen that. I've seen that firsthand.
Stuff, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's, hey, you know, I mean, with television characters, got to make sure that we're looking right. So I would say that is like, but you know, I mean, it is funny but I do it every time, and it is sort of like Mandy said, kind of the thing that like centers me to some degree, or kind of brings me into like full focus of the moment, because I don't really focus on my hair like that at any other points of my life. So when I start to focus on it that way, it kind of is just like what I do to get into Tucker character sort of, and that's always just one of the things that, you know, brings me into that zone.
Table Talk regular Byron wants to know, Otis, do you ever get tired of being a sex symbol?
Oh yeah. It's I didn't say oh yes, and I'm sick of it. As oh yeah, it's just like, no, I'll keep it. You know, I keep it going here. But I tell you what, though, I never thought this until I got into wrestling, how much the ladies love a big hairy chest and all that stuff. Because like in high school, I could never see anybody. They were all into those little guys and with the cool haircuts that go across the eyes, those bangs.
Oh my
You got
God.
a cool haircut. You got a cool haircut, dude.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you do.
had the flat top. Yeah, I did the flat top. And I was more shy in high school, but definitely. I mean, hey, if they love it, keep on coming with it, baby. Yes.
There
Get a little
you go.
excited in there sometimes. Like sometimes I know what I'm doing. Tuck goes, you know what you did out there? No, I didn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, give him one of these right here.
That's right.
Well, easy.
Funny
That's
story.
great.
He's been specifically told, don't do the tongue thing anymore by
Well,
people in our company. You're not.
Yeah,
don't
just
do
one
the
lick.
tongue.
They said if you
No,
have to,
Just
do one lick.
The one flick rule.
The best,
I am.
and you did it.
Otis, let me tell you something. One lick, that's probably sometimes all you need.
Yeah, like when you catch Mandy from a second turnbuckle, you just can't help yourself, and you're really flicking. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. That's
Devon
great.
tries to keep the show PG. I think we've surpassed that at this point.
We're
Hey,
that's
definitely
what I
flirting with the
do.
line.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to get extreme right now.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
An EC bed.
Easy dub, baby. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We want to thank you so much for coming on Table Talk. Really do.
Absolutely.
And if you can, each one of you, please let us know how we can get in touch with you on social media. Mandy, we'll start with you first.
Yes. On Instagram, Mandy Stack, and then Twitter, I'm at WWE_Mandy Rose.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't really pay attention to this kind of stuff, but I think it's Otis_WWE on Instagram because they had to change it because of the whole kept the last name. But I think the Twitter is the same. Maybe it's the worst. Maybe it's WWE at Otis. I'm not sure. I'm sorry about that. My apologies.
No, it's
Otis something.
Yep, it's the Twitter for both of us is Tucker WWE or Otis WWE, and Instagram Tucker_WWE, Otis_WWE.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, guys. And again, much success, more success to you guys coming up in the future. And again, regardless to what brand you guys wind up on, in terms of being together, coming back together, separating, what have you, I do know just from watching from the past that each and every one of you are going to be successful at what you do. So, again, kudos to entertaining us and just really, really, really making it fun to watch you guys. And I'm looking forward more to come.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
so
thanks for
much.
having us.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Appreciate you. All right.
So funny.
I tell you, that Otis boy, he's so funny. So funny. And when you put him and Tucker together, it's just like, wow. It's like it's magic because you're going to be entertained. And then one of the other things is, you add Manny to the mix and forget about it.
Nice
Love it.
surprise there. Kudos to Devon for getting that set up. Otis and Tucker had no idea that Mandy was stopping by, so well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
figured.
you.
I said, you know what? Let me get a surprise. Let me see if I can get Mandy to come on the show. And sure enough, I asked her, and it was no more than a 1 second. Sure, I'll be on the show. So
That's
it
so
was
cool.
great. Really was good.
That's great stuff. So definitely thankful for that. I don't know who we're targeting next week, but I do know what we call segment 2 next week. We will have paranormal investigator. We have Kitsy, who's no stranger to the Comic Con scene as well, going to be joining us and try to prove to Devon that ghost hunting on TV is real.
Look, I said this once and I'll say it again. You and Lindsay can believe what you want. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to be in a room with cameras and everybody in there, I don't expect the ghost to come up and say boo when I yell action. I just don't buy it.
What if the ghost is already there, though? And the ghost is like, ooh, spotlight.
And what if he doesn't say boo? He says, hey.
Listen, I'm inclined to believe the movies more than I am those shows. And I'll tell you why. At least in the movie, the ghost waits for everybody to leave except for that one person. And then, of course, the ghost exposes himself. I feel that that's the same. Well, not expose themselves in that
What kind
way.
of movies do you watch?
You really don't want to know that.
Damn.
Look.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah.
Look. I just got to say, I mean, I just can't see the ghost going, hey, I'm here now. Look at me. Boo. Hi, you scared? No.
Well, what if the investigators go into a house that ghosts already live in and then they're going into ghost territory? So the ghosts are already there. So they turn on the cameras and they're like, dude, this is my house. And they're trying to scare them to go away.
Breaking and entering. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I believe in the supernatural. I'm not going to say I don't. We've had this discussion before. But again, I'm just not inclined to believe that once the cameras start rolling, that all of a sudden the ghost is going to pop up and say, hey, boo, I'm here. Hey, you got me on camera. Let me get my good side.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't they though do the little things, the little steps it takes to get a reaction out of a ghost though? So it's
Yeah.
not like
And
they're like,
sometimes it
"Hey,
doesn't work.
ghost," and the ghost just shows up. No, they do these series of whatever the hell they do to get the communication open.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm 50-50 on certain things when they have cameras and they catch certain things floating around in the air and stuff like that. Because I think something like that they can actually make happen, because of production. But I also am inclined to believe that it can happen for real. I'm 50-50 on that one. I'm just
Okay.
not I'm just not believing that, again, the lights are gonna flicker off and on and this and that. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm in my own house by myself, that has happened. And I did scream like a little bitch and run out. I ain't gonna lie. I grabbed my dog in the whole nine.
Is this
Yeah,
in
Mo.
general or is this right now? That's a good question. But we got Brian saying he can tell you it's real. We have AC writing saying
Yes.
it's real. And then we have Kitsy on the air next week saying it's real.
Yes.
So Devon, it won't be me picking on you. It's going to be Kitsy picking on you.
Listen, as
You'll have
long as they don't
no doubt.
look, as long as they don't bring any of that juju crap over here, I'm fine. Let it be wherever they shoot, but don't bring that crap here.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I do mention that. Where's the comment in here that we had a lot of comments coming in, so I already lost it here. But no, this one reminds Brian of the time when we had the Sarah Logan episode where we had the surprise of Ruby Riott, and
That
that's
was so fun.
we do
Yeah,
enjoy
that
the
was so fun.
surprises. That's for sure.
Yes.
So
But with
fun.
that said, you're talking about the movies and ghosts exposing themselves or whatever you
Yes.
said. What do you think the scariest movie not based on science, but using science as the reasoning, the method behind being scared? What's the scariest movie? Like, what's going to get your heart rate up the most? What do you think? And we'll start with you, Lindsay.
Human Centipede.
Okay.
Really?
Have you ever seen it?
I was just talking about this with somebody at work the other day. Yeah, I don't know why I watched it. I watched the first one, and it was terrifying, and I couldn't stop watching it.
Well,
And this person had watched the second one and told me how it integrated with the first one, and I was very disgusted and confused and couldn't understand why I had watched it. But it's disgusting.
okay, let me just say this. Okay, you take some mad doctor that
Yeah.
decides to drug people,
Yeah.
sew them together,
Uh-huh.
and have them sew into their ass. I mean, I would want to be the
I should've
first
thought
one,
of
of course, because Lord knows if the first one eats and then he's got to go to the bathroom, which happened in the movie,
Mhm.
very, very bad. And it's like a train effect, it just goes, down the line. But I didn't see anything scary about it. It made me cringe to the point where I
think
found it disgusting.
Scary
But-
because it's so disgusting, and I don't know if it could happen. I don't want to know if it really could happen, but the fact that somebody thought about this and put it together is frightening. Maybe the person who wrote this I'm scared of that person. That's scary.
I would be more inclined to be. You're right. I'd be more inclined to be scared of the person than I would the movie.
Who came up with this concept?
All right, that's fair. What about you,
Sorry,
Dave?
that
What do
wasn't
you
really-
think the
yeah.
scariest movie is?
Well, I think we had her on about 2 weeks ago. The Exorcist.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you got to understand why I think that way, because both parents being reverends, possession and all of that is real. And when you read your Bible from the Old Testament, even the New Testament, it speaks of it all the time. Jesus casting out demons out of people, back in the biblical days. And of course, when you grow up in a church and your parents instilling the Bible in you, and those are some of the things that they have, So when you see a movie like The Exorcist and how powerful that was, anything with possession pretty much got me, and The Exorcist was number one. And of course, the second one was The Omen. But I think you had to be a little older to understand The Omen, because they were literally taking stuff out of the book of Revelations. And basically doing that. So if you went to church and studied the book of Revelations, and anybody will tell you, when you read that version of the Bible, that is probably the scariest part of the Bible, because you're talking about Armageddon, you're talking about the Antichrist and all of that, jumbled into one, and what's going to happen during that time. So to me, that's scary because that could really happen. That's what the Bible is foreseeing is revelations coming to light. And some people might even say we're in that right now. We're in the beginning stages of it with all the turmoil that's going on in the world right now. So to me, that's scary. To me, that's reality. Again, I lived in New York. I can see a guy with a ski mask all day long and a knife and going to hack people up. I mean, that's no big deal. We see it all the time in New York, but to actually see somebody possessed by some spiritual being and then making you do things that that the body can't possibly do on its own, that's scary. Not saying that, somebody sat up and turned their head completely around and, spit in pea soup. But again, it's scary. That scared the hell out of me.
All right. The scariest movie I ever saw was the one that Devon tried acting in.
Oh, God. Oh. No, you're right, because I cringed at that movie. Scary. Oh, God.
No, I would think like A Nightmare on Elm Street or something, just because as a kid or a teenager, you can't sleep, and that's all you want to do. You either want to have sex or you want to sleep when you're a teenager. So, I mean, it's like, it makes a lot of sense. But none of these movies that we've talked about, nothing that is coming in the comments right now have correctly guessed. According to science, the scariest movie.
I think I know. Hold on. Before you say that, do you want us? You already know the answer. Let me see, Lindsay. What do you think the scariest movie would be? What do you think? In other words, what do you think? What do you think? No. I know that's what you think it is, but what do you think was voted the number one?
I don't know.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. I don't know. Lindsay, hey, it's right here. I can't think. I don't know.
I think what they're going to pick, because again, I saw something about 2 years ago where they voted this and they said Jaws. Jaws was the scariest movie of all time. And I was like, what? It's only scary if you go in the water. But it's only scary if you go in the water. Now, when I was 7 years old and taking a bath, I was scared the shark was going to come in the damn bathtub. But again, that's a 7-year-old's mentality. Or a 5-year-old, however old I was very young, so I didn't know any good. I didn't know any, different. But it
was only 5 weeks ago, and he was scared to death.
Yeah, well, things happen.
It does. It does. Good movies, doesn't matter what age you are, they mess you up. But so this was determined by the average increase of heart rate while watching a film. And so the 2012 movie Sinister was named the scariest movie according to science.
Really?
Where the average person, and they spent, about 100 or so people watched hours and hours and hours of horror films. So eventually you're going to get doled down to this, but Sinister saw people go from about 65 heartbeats per minute up to 86, with some people seeing spikes up to 133.
Wow. What Sinister? What was that about again?
Sinister was like a possessed house or something. I think Ethan Hawke was in that one.
Right.
Which doesn't narrow down. Oh, the Ethan Hawke scary. I don't think that narrows it down, but
that one.
Let me see if I can pull up the exact synopsis here.
Because I did see it, but it's hard for me to remember because I think I only saw it one time, and it was a while ago.
Is it the Blair Witch Project? Are we still guessing?
Oh God, no.
No, I've literally only seen like 5 scary movies in my entire life. I don't like them. I don't like that increased heart rate.
So I like Devon. I remember seeing the movie, but I don't remember much about it in hindsight. But it's a true crime writer who's in a slump, hasn't had a bestseller in more than a decade, and is becoming desperate for a hit. So he discovers somehow an existence of a snuff film showing the deaths of a family. So he determines that he's going to solve this mystery. And so he moves his own family into the victim's home to start working on it. And the old film footage then starts showing how people are going to get haunted, killed, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I remember now. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was a very good one. I thought it made me jump. Don't get me wrong. But I was able to turn the TV off when it was over and turn the lights off and go to sleep. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with The Exorcist.
Yeah, Jesse says it was terrifying. So, right there. Arachnophobia was a good guess right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's even worse if people got fear of spiders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Sinister was number 1, with number 2 being Insidious, which is another newer movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Conjuring.
Yes.
Nope.
Hereditary, who you either seem to love or you hated that movie. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty messed up, but I know some people that were bored during it. It's just different strokes for different folks. And then running out the top 5 would be Paranormal Activity.
That's interesting.
I mean, again, I think that's all in the individual in terms of how they feel about scary movies, like what scares them. You know, what's the most scariest thing? I think The Ring was I think The Ring was scary at certain points, absolutely. But again, there was so many good horror films out there that basically scared a lot of people that, again, didn't allow them to go to bed without the lights. You know, with one of the lights on, I should say.
Now, other ones that did make the list, we did talk about, but they were not top 5. The Exorcist, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So there are notable ones on this list, but not in the top 5.
You know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I thought, good horror movie, guy going around slashing people that winds up in his house or neighborhood looking for whatever. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was scary to a certain degree because, I mean, God, this guy was like, what, 6'4", 6'5", well over 300 pounds and just hacking people and was quick. He wasn't like the old Jason and Michael Myers where they would take 2 steps to the other person's 40 steps, and then all of a sudden he would stop, turn around, and then turn back the other way, and freaking he's right there.
It's the tortoise in the hare, Devon. Every time.
I like that commercial. I think it might be a Geico commercial where you got like these 5 or 6 teenagers and they're running and they go, "Hey, look, let's go into that house right there." And the guy goes, and he goes, "No, let's go in." And the girl's crying, goes, "Why don't we just go into the car that's already running?" And they go, I goes, "No, why don't we just go into the shed?" And they go in the shed and the axe murder's right there. He takes off the mask and he's just like,
let's hide behind the chainsaw.
He's like, really?
I do appreciate the first Saw was pretty good. Making you think about what you would do in those situations.
Scream.
It's not scary, but I gotta say, when it comes to Halloween movies, I love Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
It's very creative. I don't know if it's overly scary, Lindsay, but there's a twist halfway through that, much like Hereditary, you either love like I do, or you hate it and you think it takes everything away from the movie. And I'd be curious to get your thoughts if you liked it or not.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I have to watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just said it's not overly scary. I mean,
you gotta watch it by yourself.
But I also sit here and I watch like murder documentaries that are like true crime and they actually happened. And
you see, and I find that scary because number one, that's real. I actually find that scary. That's real. That's something that really, really happened.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want it. Like if I'm watching it at night and I'm by myself, I'm a wuss. I ain't gonna lie. I hear it creeping. I'm grabbing the dog and cuddling underneath the bed. I'm like, remember when you were little and you were scared, you had to go to bed, parents made you go to bed, and all of a sudden you're in your room and you're shaking, you're scared, and you took the blanket and you put it over your head because you don't think the ghost is going to see you or whatever you think is going to come at you, and you're like, yeah, that's good. Hiding myself underneath the sheet is really going to stop the monster from getting me.
Or you don't hang your foot off the side of the bed.
Right.
If you put it back on your bed, it's not going to get you.
Yeah.
True.
We don't know ghost laws. All right. I mean, we don't know what they are and are not allowed to do. So, that's
still on the bed.
I can tell you this: they ain't gonna pop up when the cameras are rolling. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, we heard. We know about that. I love this idea by Jaden. You, Devon, doing a video, and you and Nikki Cross going through a haunted house on Halloween.
Nikki and I have talked about doing some stuff like crazy like that. and we thought it'd be great, especially if we added Bubba into the mix. Oh
Mhm.
my God, it would be hilarious. I think
Uh-huh.
something like that would be hilarious, because I know Nikki, and I know how she is, and of course I know Bubba, and to have all three of us together, different personalities, different whatever, I think it would be a reality show that you would have to watch. I think it would be great because we would so play off of each other. It would be great.
Absolutely. John wants to know if we can bring Apollo Crews on the show. Just so you know, if you go back to WrestlingAudio.com, go back to episode 23. We hadn't gone to video yet, but we do have Apollo Crews in an audio interview. Myself and Devon talked to Apollo. So, John, keep that in mind. We have talked to Apollo. Maybe it's just time to bring him back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of the guests before we turn video, maybe we should just bring back because again, audio and video are two different things, and I think people can really grasp the interview and really get into it if they can see it. Right. And Lindsay could be a part of it. Exactly.
Yeah, we had some technological limitations that didn't allow all of us to be on at once. But hey, we've moved forward, we've advanced, and we're always taking your suggestions for individuals. Jaden has been posting and posting and posting today, Devon, that he wants Finn Balor on the show.
Finn Balor. You know what? I don't know. Finn, you might be able to do. I think Finn is injured right now, right?
So he's got the free time.
Yeah, he's got the free time indeed. So we're gonna have to see what happens if Finn Balor can come on the show. We'll have to see. I love to have Finn. Finn's a great guy. I love him. But you know what? One of the things that we talked about in terms of these horror movies, you can watch. I'm not plug. Well, I guess I am plugging it. AMC. They're showing nothing all through the month of October. Halloween, all the scariest movies that we talked about, and even the ones that we didn't get to talk about. They're playing all through the day, from 8 o'clock in the morning up until 8 o'clock the next morning. It's phenomenal. I'm loving the month of October right now watching AMC.
Isn't that fun? Month of October, I don't like watching TV because I'm scared there's gonna be a scary commercial. I don't like scrolling through Instagram Snapchat because you know how they pause for commercials or little commercial breaks. Sometimes they're scary about a scary movie that's being released. I have to scroll out or tap. I don't like it.
Hey Mo, I can guarantee you, Lindsay's daughter at night is, Mom, listen. You're gonna have to stop this. You're gonna have to.
You know that she loves scary movies.
Hold on, she's like, Mom. You're gonna have to go to your own bed, okay? Seriously, stop, Mom. This is too much.
No, she has to protect me.
I can so see that happening.
She watches it, like the new It. She loves it, and then the second one, whatever. And she loves the storyline, and she actually loves Pennywise. And he's not that scary, Mom. And I'm like, I've not seen it, so I don't know, but no.
But you know what? Maybe because I didn't see it as a kid. I mean, I heard about it. I remember it was the talk of the school at the time growing up. But I never saw the original It until this version, the new version came out. So I went back and watched it. And of course, I didn't think it was scary because again, but at that time, it probably was. Just like The Exorcist, I know it still scares a lot of people, but even this new generation who watches it now, they laugh at it because you got to think about it. Times have changed, and people's, way of thinking, how they see things, they've seen it all. So to see somebody spit pea soup or, freaking the face turns around, in my opinion, that's just like, okay, that makes me a little hair on top of my, on my arm stand up, but it's not anything that make me lose sleep over. But of course, back then when I saw it, it was huge.
Now, when you say people have seen it all, there is one thing that they haven't seen yet.
And what's that?
No,
Lindsay.
That was supposed to be.
Yes. Schoolgirl. Yes.
So those of you who have stuck it out through the end of the show here and maybe watching on a week-to-week basis know that there was a Dancing with the Stars, Tiger King, Carol Baskin bet. And after some weeks of procrastination, Lindsay finally obtained said outfit.
My face.
Hold on. Now wait a minute, Mo. If you can tell, if you look right down there, go back to the picture.
All right.
If you look where she's showing you the tiger underwear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went. I did everything you asked, Yvonne.
Yes, she did. Yes, she
Google
did.
outfit.
But you do know some fans are going to be upset. You do know that, right?
Why?
Well, because you got to think about it. You should have been standing up and standing
I
on
couldn't
showing
get
yourself.
a selfie with like
Yeah,
my whole
selfie.
body. I don't
Listen,
have a full length mirror.
there's timers on the phones now, Lindsay. Nice try. You have
Are
an
you?
iPhone.
You can't get another picture out of me. I'm
Yes,
sorry. That's it.
yeah. Listen. We're gonna have to settle for what we get. So
What is happening?
There, we'll just keep it up on. You know, you have to settle the bet, and so if we just quickly flash it on the screen like that, that doesn't help anybody. People need to
Okay.
know that you've actually done it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I just want everybody to look at my face. Thank you, Brian. My face says it all. I'm never doing this again. You ruined bets for me.
Daniel, I miss school too. Yes.
Oh my god. Guys.
There's not a lot of people upset right now, Lindsay.
I
You
see
are
that.
definitely in the minority on that one.
Well, I will say this, guys. The next time that we make a bet, I'm going to make sure it's one that I no way in hell could lose, and I'm going to bet Lindsay, and she'll be standing up the next time in that schoolgirl
Okay.
outfit.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't want to. Okay.
And before we wrap this up, John, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you streaming on a regular basis. That's what I think I love most about Table Talk is the fact that you guys and your comments are very much a part of the show and a part of the conversation. You keep us going with all the great Halloween movies and the scary movie conversations. You supporting Lindsay losing bets. I love it.
Absolutely. And, like I always say, it's nothing serious. It's Table Talk. We add a little bit of the, the wrestling world and, we add the pop culture. We just want to have fun. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to be serious. We're not trying to change storylines. We're not trying to, change the face of pro wrestling or even pop culture. We just want to have a little talk about it. Talk about that, talk about wrestling, talk about some pop culture, and just have fun with it. Nothing serious. Just have fun. It's nothing serious. It's just Table Talk.
There's a lot of BS out in the world right now. We try to help you escape from that. So if you got some people that are wrestling fans, pop culture fans, spread the word. Let them know that we do this every single Wednesday live, and we'll have some fun. We're going to leave it on this note here. Devon is the worst person on Table Talk.
Oh, Jordan, you just can't help yourself this week. And you actually want me to try to get Finn Balor, you jackass.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys are great.
Look out. Just spinning. Just
Okay.
spinning.
I got things going on in my head right now.
Just spinning. And the broadcast is just spinning. I can't even press the button again.
Is it?
Listen, I'm just waiting. I'm trying to think of something